Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Stoneblock 2. In today's episode, I want to show you a really cool system with applied logistics, how you can keep, let's say, a stack of pistons all the time in your system, or a stack of chests, or a stack of planks, or a stack of sticks, because you require it in recipes all the time, and it's really cool and really useful, so let's go set it up. So the way this is going to work is we're going to have 8 interfaces and 8 storage buses right here, and that's going to be 16 channels total. So what we can do is just run a dense cable down here, for example, like so, and then we're going to put a P2P tunnel, and we're going to need 2 total. So we're going to put one right here, and the other one is going to be right here in this corner, where we're going to have another 8. And then we're going to just go look at our applied logistics controller and see where we have some channels available. We can use these 2 yellow ones because they're pretty much empty. So let's grab this left one and this right one. We're going to put them right here. And then we're going to grab some yellow cable just so I know which one is where. And we can go down here and then we can just click one of these on top and click one of those on top and grab our smart cable. Pull it like so. Then we need to bring some dense cable over to here from the center of the base, which is here. So we can just go like this and then bring it over to here. And I'm just gonna run some smart cable, I think. We don't really need dense. So let's go, we need to connect these 2 up. So let's just do it kind of like this. There we go. And we can bring the cable. It's not really going to be centered, so it doesn't matter. But we're going to bring it over to here so everything gets connected. And we should start seeing channels. And this should be 32 channels as soon as I do this and that. And then on this side, we're going to take some interfaces, place them down on the bottom and then on the top as well. And then we're going to grab some storage buses and we're going to face them each one onto an interface like so. And then we're going to take our smart cable and connect it all up. And over here, we should be seeing channels. There we go, 32. And then here, we should get some more channels as well, like that. So that should all be hooked up as soon as this registers that it's all of the things. It needs to process, so it's going to take a moment. But that should connect as well. So then we're going to we're going to put in a crafting card in here. And for example, the recipe that I'm looking for is another mod that we're going to dive in today, and that's Botania. So for example, the petals require a recipe, which is a mystical white flower turned into a mystical petal. I don't think there's a Sagnal recipe, there's just a direct transformation. So that is fine. We can then go over here. Actually, we need to toss this in our molecular assembler, so we can put them right there. And then we can request some petals. Petal, if I can type. Here we go, middle click, please work, thank you very much. So we can request petals. But if we go here, to our interface, and this one has the crafting card, we can say always keep 17 petals here, and it's going to craft 17 petals. And I'm just going to grab more and more until we get a full on stack. Come on, give me petals. There we go. We have a stack. We can toss them inside and then keep a stack. There we go. And that should always keep a stack of mystical white petals in the system. So if we look at petal, and we grab a stack, you can see it should be auto-crafted back as soon as the interface is detected, I think. I don't know where they're really going, but there's a recipe for this. Why aren't you doing your thing? All I had to do apparently was partition the storage, so we needed to put a mystical white petal over here. And now if we go to our system, I don't know why I keep going back to the friggin' terminal. I have the wireless terminal. So it doesn't matter. Okay, so petal, we can grab them. We get another stack immediately, which is lovely. So I'm gonna set up a bunch of recipes now for all the different things that I need, for all the petals that we need, for stuff that we need from Botania, if there's anything, and then we can close this off, make a nice little road, and then we can start our Botania area right over here. Okay, for the moment, I have all of the different petals in both of these. One is full, one has 2 more slots left if we need something else from Botania, and I can also just do this and rename this to Botania petals. We can do that, or actually I'll just leave it Botania, I think. And I'll just label kind of like the mod that it is from in each one, just so I can keep it organized and know where things are. So here we have some storage drawers. I have all the different things. I have the trim, the compacting drawers, even drawer controllers, because I've been using those around a lot. Another thing that we can do is, for example, apply logistics. So for example, storage buses, we need all the time. Export buses, we also need all the time. So let's just get 60 going. I think I have, maybe we need another one. Let's get another 10. Should be fine. There we go, stack of those. And then, for example, cables, we need smart cables all the time. So we can say, craft me another 60 smart cable. And the dense cable we also need. So smart cable is gonna get done any moment now, but we can, let's say, come over here, remove this one and do applied energistics 2. There we go. And we can say dense cable. I need to grab actually a little bit just to add to the storage bus, and that should be good. And the smart cable, we can just export like this. It's a really cool, neat trick how to get it to 64. You just do this, and then can you, oh, is that the maximum amount that we have? No, it just didn't want to do its thing. No, crap. I'm doing the wrong way. This guy doesn't have a crafting card yet, so it's not auto exporting anything that it doesn't have. So we can do those and those. And then interfaces, for example, we also need, so let's craft another 32 of those. We also need emitters. So let's grab another 30 of those. Those should be pretty quick to craft. There we go, interface, like so. So let's go emitter, interface, we can toss them in there. And as I remember something other than this that we need, we can just grab and put into the storage bus and also into the interface here. So we can just do that, and then give you a crafting card. You have a crafting card, you have a crafting card, and everything is nice and good except for this one. You don't have one, and you do. All right. So I did build the road around, so we can now start clearing out an area with our handy dandy destruction gadget. So I'm just gonna bump this up to 9, and we can just destroy a lot of this stone to get a nice big area for Botania going. So we're gonna go this type direction, like that as well. We can do an undo on that and do one like this. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna probably just get some of these seeds, the vivid pasture seeds. So that's cactus green, which I have a little bit of. And then we need some regular grass, and we need to toss that on a mana pool. There we go. A little bit more. And then we can combine this to make vivid pasture seeds, and we can grab some grass. I'm gonna grab my exchanging gadget. We're gonna put down a little bit of grass here. And then we're gonna just go with G surface, and we're gonna increase it to, let's say, 9. So we get a little bit of a bigger area here with some grass. Lovely. And then I can do this, and that will spread a lovely, cool green grass around. So I can just go around the place and spread it out. I don't think it might spread automatically, but it's really dark here, so it might not. And I have plenty of mana to make more seeds if I need to. But that should be a nice little area for Botania. So we need to automate a few things. One is the pure daisy. I need to make another one as well, and we need to put wood around it and then break it as well. So we can do that with a couple different mods. There is a cool breaker and placer from, I think, Cyclic has one. But let's begin first of all with making just one more pure daisy. So we're gonna put some water in here, grab some petals, 1, 2, 3, 4, said 4. Thank you, game. And then some seeds. And we can toss these 4 in here. Plus a seed is going to make us another pure daisy. We can also turn these 2 pure daisies into floating flowers. How many overgrowth seeds do we have? Because I assume these work faster on overgrowth seeds, and I've just never done it. So let me see where we want to put these pure daisies. I'm going to try the overgrowth seed and see if it's faster than normal, which should be pretty cool. And I think we can get those in epic loot crates and all the different ones, so we can get a huge amount of them at some point, but that should be pretty cool. So this looks just like some living rock and living wood that I need to harvest, but fear not, I have it automated. We have 500 and something living rock and living wood always in the system, and if I grab some more, you can see it's getting broken, and new ones are getting placed, and it's going to get converted, broken again, and so forth. So that's really neat. So how it all works is underneath, and everything is nicely compacted onto 7 channels, which is really nice. We have a structure builder that is offset by 2 Ys and 2 Zs. So the structure builder would generally build a 3x3 right here, or actually it builds from the center of this guy. So it would build a 3x3 around itself. So we needed to move it 2 blocks over and 2 blocks up. So it builds a 3x3 around the pure daisy. So that is how that works. He has an import bus, or sorry, an export bus on the side exporting stone. And it's set to square because normally it's just 2 facing, and also the size is 1 height and 1 size increase. So that is really cool. And how we break it is the controlled miner, which has an obsidian pickaxe and a living rock. So here we are exporting obsidian pickaxes with a crafting card. So as soon as this one runs out, which is probably going to be never in this playthrough unless I use a huge amount of living rock and living wood. And this guy also requires redstone to run, so we have a level limiter here to set to 512 of living rock. And what we can do is, if we wanted to, if we don't like seeing the living rock and the living wood right here, we can just reverse this. So instead of controlling this guy with redstone, we can control the builder with redstone. So it's going to stop as soon as we get enough living rock and living wood in the system, and it can break it and just leave it be. So I can change that in between episodes, and you can let me know if you like seeing the living wood and living rock, or if you want to see just like the stone that's underneath, which I have it like here. The stone and the wood is kind of like the things that are being converted into those things, pretty much. So I wanted to automate the dropping of the mana pearls, mana diamonds, and mana steel, and all the other mana things that we needed, because I thought we needed terra steel, but we got some terra steel from the questing, so we can just go directly, keep pressing the wrong buttons, we can just go directly into the elven gateway core, and we can just grab some more living wood. I'm just gonna grab like 16 of those, and we can set up the portal. We're also gonna need the cores. So it's gonna, or sorry, not cores, pylon. That's the one, it's the Natura pylon. So we need a couple of these and a couple of these, which is lovely. And I love how it's set so it only uses 1 full terra steel block, which is really nice. Okay, so where do we wanna put this portal? Let's just go to the side of this. We have 1 block space in between each of these. So let's just go like this. And like this, because the portal is going to take a 3x3, and we need living wood right here, right here. And here we can put some grass down, and then like this, and then glimmering living wood on the corners, and then we can go around, and a glimmering living wood in the middle. Lovely. Then we need a couple mana pools filled with mana, which are going to be these 2, because that's the only ones that I have. We're going to put one right there, and one right here. And then we need the Natura pylons right here and right here. And we can grab our Wand of the Forest, which should be in here. And we can just smack this, and we should get a portal. It's going to use up quite a bit of mana to get it open, but it is going to stay open for, I think, indefinitely. And as we as we toss stuff in here, it's going to use up a little bit of mana. But we get in new Lexica Botania, which is the Elven Guard one, which gives us a lot more options, and I'm not going to read through all the text. It's going to get us the Ritual of the Gaia 2, the relics. We can even get more flowers now. You can see we get the Kekimurus, which is kind of what I want. The Dandelion, the Rafflesia, which I don't know what this is. What? Functions in a manner similar to the Kekimurus with any sort of man-made flowers in the Petal Apothecary, as in it'll find any nearby, placed on the floor and destroy them, creating mana. Oh, interesting. So you can make flowers and place them down and use that for mana. That's interesting. But we want Kekimurus because a certain Daniel somewhere wants cake. So we're going to do cake. Okay, so the Kekimurus is going to require us to make a few of these runes of gluttony, which are going to require some runes of fire and runes of winter. And those are going to require a runic altar. So we can just get that made right here. There we go. And we're going to just put you here. Actually, even one block closer. This is not a permanent spot. And what we can do is actually get a higher tier of a mana spreader. So let's get some living wood here. Just going to grab a stack and we're going to toss it in here just to get that going. So we get a bit of dreamwood. And the spreader requires probably something else. It requires elementium. So we need to grab some mana steel. I'll just do a full stack because that's going to get us half a stack of mana steel. So we can toss that in there. Lovely. And we can then make an elven mana spreader. Lovely. So we're going to put you right here. We're going to face you into the altar. And then I need to grab some of the materials that I need for the rune of... because I don't have any. For the rune of fire, the rune of winter. So let me just grab those and then we can start crafting those up. So each and every rune requires some mana steel and mana powder, at least the basic tier runes, which are the ones that you see right over here, these 4, and the rune of mana is kind of the basic tier as well. So let's just make those. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these and 1 of these, and we need to grab some living rock. Just grab half a stack. And as soon as this is complete with the little circle that you see, as soon we can drop this and then click it, and we get a rune of mana, which is lovely. So then for the rune of water, we require a fishing rod, a bone meal, and a sugarcane, and then a mana powder and a mana steel. And that should make us the rune of water. And then for the rune of fire, we're going to grab these 3, and the rune of earth, these 3. So we can just do that, click it, and then we have gunpowder, nether brick, and nether wart, and a mana powder, and a mana ingot. That will make the rune of fire. And that, I believe it makes 2. I think I tossed it a bit too soon. There we go. Boom. And then mana powder, mana steel, block of coal, stone, and mushroom will get us the rune of the earth. Nice. So with that, we can toss another stone down and grab that. Wonderful. So with those runes, we can make the terrestrial agglomeration plate. We need a block of mana steel, like that, and then that should be it. Oh, we need the rune of air too. Right. Feather. Do I have some carpet? I do. And what was it else? String. I forgot that we needed those for the terrestrial agglomeration plate. Because I'm going to need Terra Steel at some point, so might as well just make it now while I have the runes, and we can work on the other runes in a moment. So let's just wait for this to be made. There we go. And we can turn that into the terrestrial agglomeration plate. Lovely. So we need only, I believe, these 2 runes. Actually, I think I need the earth as well. So we need to make the rune of winter, which is rune of water, rune of earth, a couple pieces of snow, some white wool, and cake. Do I have what it takes to craft a cake? I don't have the milk. Can we use like a reservoir of milk? Okay, so net. I think I have cows somewhere. Cow. We need to do a little bit of a rancher, I think is the thing that I need. So that is going to be just a couple sets of shears. And let's just see if we can just like do a ghetto cow setup. It's going to be just somewhere here. We're going to do some glass. Put it right here, and right here. Can do like a little 3x3-ish something. And like that. So we can toss the cow in here. We're gonna rotate you around. So you're facing the cow, and then we're gonna give you some power by putting this over here. And you should start getting us milk. Lovely. We can then grab a tank. Yeah, sure. And the conduit. Not this conduit, but this conduit. We're gonna put you here, say extract always active, so we're gonna get a bunch of milk. And then we can grab some buckets. And this is gonna be very ghetto, so I'm just gonna toss the buckets in here. Get a couple more. There we go. And now cake. Nice. And we can automate it with the AE system at some point, or we can just get a separate system, but I need some eggs in storage. So just toss those for the moment. So the rune of winter was a cake, a rune of water, rune of earth, some snow, which I have some snowballs here. So let's just craft a stack of snow. There we go. And I believe some wool, which I do know that I have. So this is one thing that I would like to have all the time in the system. So I'm just gonna craft a stack of it. And then we're gonna come over to our, to our handy dandy station right here. And we're gonna put you right there. So you're gonna keep a stack of wool all the time in the system. Lovely. One thing that I have to add, that I always forget, we have to do this. There we go. Lovely. So if we add one of those, that should make us the rune of winter. And we can toss a living rock on top once it's done. And that will allow us to get the rune of gluttony. And that's going to be a rune of fire, rune of winter, and 2 mana diamonds. So here it is complete. And you get the runes back once you craft these. So the rune of fire, the rune of water, and 2 mana diamonds. No? Crap. Rune of gluttony, fire, and winter. Fire, winter, mana diamond. There we go. So we only have to craft just one of the runes, because I believe we even get the winter rune back, and we can just keep on tossing the rune of fire, the rune of winter, and the 2 mana diamonds, and getting the runes of gluttony. So what do we need for the Kekimurus? So let's look at uses, and that's going to make the Kekimurus here. That's going to be 2 orange, 2 brown, 2 white, and a pixie dust. And I believe pixie dust is these guys tossed in here. Yeah, let's do 32. There we go. This guy's complete, so we can toss you on there. And we have our first rune of gluttony. And then we need the petals. Petal. So we need a white, orange, and brown. There we go. We can come over to our petal apothecary, or actually just pick you up, put you down here somewhere close, and grab some seeds. And our inventory is an entire mess. So let's just get rid of a little bit of this that we don't need. The fishing rod, living rock, we don't need anymore just now. So we can toss in a bucket of water with our handy dandy reservoir. 2 orange, 2 white, 2 brown, a pixie dust, and a rune of gluttony. And we get our first wonderful Kekimurus. So that is going to be our ultimate mana production. And this is how Fiki makes a ghetto system for making runes of gluttony. It looks like a mess, but it works. Magical. It's really kind of easy to understand, per se, but what we have is an impulse hopper, which is one of the best blocks in Minecraft, to be honest, for Botania. Because you can set input items, and if the input has all of the items, it will let one item through until it has more items. I mean, it will keep on letting items through if it has all the input items. So if we only keep 1 rune of fire and 1 rune of winter in the loop, you can see everything works. So what we do is we drop all the 4 items and a living rock on top of here. We have a mechanical user right underneath there. You can see the little edge, and that is clicking with the wand of the forest. The comparator here outputs a signal of 1 when the altar is crafting, and a signal strength of 2 once it's ready to be clicked. So what we do is 4 ticks after, we trigger this ranged collector, which is set to pulse mode, so that we pick up the Rune of Fire and the Rune of Winter, because if we were to have this all the time, it would pick up the rune as it was dropped, and the loop wouldn't even start because you wouldn't even craft one. And then here we have a Rune of Gluttony that is extracted or collected all the time as soon as when it's made. But the loop works, and I'm going to make another set of 5, I think, or even more if I wanted to, but I have currently 9. So I'm going to go ham and start crafting. I actually have 10. And go craft the these guys. So what do you have? That's what happened to my Rune of Fire. I had to craft one more, but it got dropped into the Petal Apothecary. What wonderful. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Water. And then 2 petals, 2 of those, a pixie dust and a Rune of Gluttony, and then a seed. And what we can do is place some water, and we can right click with an empty hand to put in the last recipe. So what we can do is we can put seeds here. We can just do that, and then water, right click, seed. And then water, right click, seed. So what we can do is like this. Water, right click, seed. Water, right click, seed. And it's very repetitive, but it works. And we were making Kekimuruses days. So that's really nice. I think I have everything set to make 16. So we're gonna do that, and that, and that. Whoops. We're out of the Runes of Gluttony, so we have 3 more here, and we're making a couple more. So like that, and like that. So let me just make the rest of these, and then we can set them up and work on automation of cake. I looked at the time of the episode, so we're pretty much at the end. So the setting up of the Kekimurus and auto-crafting of cake is going to have to wait for next episode, but we're going to get to that, and that should be pretty fun. So with that, I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'm hoping you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. You can also subscribe to see new videos. You can support me on Patreon as well if you want. And I will see you all in the next episode. Have a great one. Bye-bye.